Today what we're doing is we're dedicating two brand new 30-foot long pontoon boats so that we can continue our education programs and our outreach programs. Hudson County Parks built this park in 1997. It was dedicated, and Hackensack Riverkeeper, myself and Hugh, my program director, have been using these docks as our principal port of entry for all of the passengers that come out with us every season to tour the Meadowlands, to tour the Hackensack River and the surrounding waterways. It's been a very, very good relationship with the county. We love the fact that we are able to be here, and in about a week and a half, or maybe less, we're going to be opening up our paddling center on weekends here, and people can come down and enjoy a paddle out on the Hackensack River and in the Meadowlands. Today is a really momentous occasion for Hackensack Riverkeeper. Hackensack Riverkeeper has been, like I said, we've been doing these tours for a number of years. I actually kicked off the first tour program under a different banner back in 1995. And when Hackensack Riverkeeper was founded in 1997, it made sense to immediately roll the Eco Cruise program into Hackensack Riverkeeper and then expand it when the opportunity arose. That's why we now have two boats and we have two captains, and we're out there starting the first weekend in May right through into the month of October, depending on the weather, and we take roughly about 4,000 people a year out on the river and onto the bay and onto the Passaic River even. These boats are here because of you. They wouldn't be here without the support and the donations that we've received in order to buy these boats so that we can continue providing the services for the river that we've been providing. About a little over a year ago, back in January of 14, we started very quietly raising money with a couple of corporate donors and a couple of other donors that came in early on, including our foundations. The Geraldine R. Dodge Foundation and the Victoria Foundation helped out. And then in October, we went public. At our fundraising event that we hold every October, I made an announcement to the crowd that was gathered there that we were in the throes of this capital campaign, and there was an outpouring of donations. Everything from, donations as low as $10 or $20 up to monumental donation, which allowed us to buy one of these boats exclusively of over $38,000, which came from Don Knuckle over there. Don Knuckle heard about our campaign, and he with his generosity, he's become the godfather of our capital campaign. Thank you, Donald. I couldn't be more grateful. The usual pouring some champagne over the pontoons is going to take place in a few minutes. I want to recognize some of the other folks that turned out today to help us launch these boats, to help us dedicate these boats. And I'm going to start at home with my board. I've got Ivan Cossack, the president of my board. Ivan, raise a hand. Let everybody see you. Rob Gillies, the secretary of my board, is here. Kelly Palazzi is here. She's another trustee of Hackensack Riverkeeper. And Bob Saberio back there, hanging in the back of the crowd. He's also he's a vice president of my board and a trustee of Hackensack Riverkeeper. Thank you for coming out, people. Of course, the staff at Hackensack Riverkeeper is all here, and I want to just bring them up here to take a bow. Quick, get everybody on staff up here. Jody, come on. Mike, I'm going to give a quick rundown as soon as I see which order you wind up in.
We'll mix up the...
That's everybody, right?
We got boys and girls mixed in.
That's good.
All right. On my immediate right is Jody Jameson, our project manager. She does great work for us all the time, and she's responsible for designing the invitations for today and just about any graphic image that we put out there lately. She's been the brain trust behind the design work. Next to her is my program director and co-captain, Hugh Carolla. A lot of you know Huey. And then Mary Knight is my office manager and right-hand woman. She kind of keeps everything going up there because I'm always running around like a crazy man. But it's good to know that somebody's in the office keeping things grounded. And then our staff attorney with our staff mascot, Balboa, Chris Len, is right here. And next to Chris is our new development team. Hackensack Riverkeeper has put together a team of people to raise money for the organization and to keep the organization moving forward. And I'm going to start with Jen Gannett. She's our new grant writer. She's part-time grant writer to help with foundation funding and corporate funding. Next to her is our donor manager, which is Mike Panos. Some of you know Mike from his years of service to the Meadowlands and to the river through his affiliation with Ducks Unlimited. Mike's been a friend for 20 years, and he recently retired from his business and came in and said he'd like to help, and I figured out, we got it together, and now he's working with us. And on the other end, on the extreme end over there, is James Malchow. He's our events coordinator, comes to us with a bunch of good credentials, and he's been coordinating mostly the Earth Fest that's coming up this Saturday at Overpeck County Park and the other county, up in Bergen County. But thank you guys. Thank you for all the work. You all worked hard on this, and we couldn't do what we do without the work that you guys put in every day. So thank you very much.
This is a card for both of you, congratulating you on the new boat, and happy birthday, Hugh.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Birthday, Huey.
Thank you.
There's somebody else really important that I want to bring up so you can all see him and thank him. And that's Ron Sorensen. Ron Sorensen right over there runs the Lake Opakon Marine operation up in Lake Opakon. And years ago, Ron and I met. Come on up here, Ron. Years ago, Ron and I met through a third party, and we got to know each other a little bit. And then we ran into each other continuously at the boat show every year. And Ron told me several years ago, he said, whenever you're ready to get new boats, come and see me, and I will help you as best I can. And I got to tell you, he's a man of his word. If we would not have been able to, even with all the money we were able to raise, we would not have been able to buy these boats and get them out here on the river for today without the help of Lake Opakon Marine. And he deserves a really big hand because he's put up with all of my craziness. And, yesterday he really proved his mettle when we pulled the boat out of the river up in Little Ferry. That was an all afternoon project, but we got it done. And he took it away. So thank you, Ron. Thank you for all your help. And you'll be joining us on the dock when we pour a little bit of this champagne on the pontoons. The next person I want to bring up to the microphone is my program director. You got to be very nice to my program director because my program director is celebrating his birthday today. His birthday is on Earth Day. Imagine that. Some think that's why I hired him, so we could have a birthday on Earth Day. But he does other things for me too. So Yui, you want to take over?
All right, buddy. Thank you, man. Thank you, bud. Well, I want to thank you, Bill, and everyone that's here today, especially for everything that you do for us, the support that you give to us. Really, really appreciate everything.
That's good.
See, I am the shorter of the two captains, just in case you aren't sure who's who. Anyway, I thought about it a little bit too late, but I invited Reverend Fletcher Harper to be here today. He's the president of Green Faith and the unofficial chaplain of the environmental movement in New Jersey. But Reverend Harper was otherwise engaged today at another big Earth Day event. He said, don't worry, between you and Billy, I'm sure you can handle it. So I think Fletcher was right about that. So I put together a little bit of stuff here just to say, a little bit of prose, a little thought here. And what we'll do is I'll just say some things today. Oh, I need to have my glass, please. We're going to have a couple of toasts.
Do you want them to go down to the
Not yet.
boat?
So what we'll do is well, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Rivers are extolled in poetry and prose and in history and song. Unlike lakes which are bound by their shores, or the sea with its near limitless expanse, rivers, like life and time itself, simply roll on. And likewise, the boats best suited to the ways of the river are those of strength, dependability, and with a clear job to do. The vessels we commission today have a lot of work ahead of them, but they are up to the task, as were their storied predecessors, the Edward Abbey and the Robert H. Boyle. As is Hackensack Riverkeeper, the Riverkeeper, and all of us in the organization. All of us are ready, willing, and able now and always. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the research vessels Geraldine, Teresa, and Robert H. Boyle, too.
Here. Here.
Today we christen the Geraldine Teresa, named for two women, one of whom is here today, who raised two young boys to become strong, successful, and civic-minded men, and without whom we would not have two vessels to commission today. And so we celebrate these two wonderful women in the christening of the boat that bears their names, and which will help us to raise a new generation of people to care for the river, whose waters are now their own. And today we christen the Robert H. Boyle II, the second vessel named for the visionary man who first conceived of a riverkeeper, naturalist, conservationist, one who maintains a presence on the river and serving as its eyes, ears, hands, and soul. And so we celebrate Bob's vision and that of so many men and women who continue to be inspired by it, and in so doing rededicate ourselves to protecting, preserving, and restoring our Hackensack River. Have to turn the page. All right, so now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask Mr. Knuckle and his lovely mother and his son, as well as my friends from the Waterkeeper Alliance, Joanna, Bill, Ivan, our board president, and Greg Rameau from Baykeeper, to join us down on the docks. If you guys can, I'll speak really loud. Don't worry, you'll be able to hear me. Can everyone hear me up there? I knew it. My mom always said I had a big mouth. All right, she was right, Ma. All right, ladies and gentlemen, together, let us all hope, wish, and pray that the Geraldine Teresa and the Robert H. Boyle II will always travel safely upon the river and upon all the waterways upon which they will work, and that all who travel aboard them gain greater knowledge and appreciation of the river and its history,
and fully embrace their rights and responsibilities as watershed citizens. And finally, most importantly, may every single person who joins us on the river be always brought safely back upon the shore. Ladies and gentlemen, the Geraldine Teresa, the Robert H. Boyle 2. All right. Ready? 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 4.